Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to another scouting episode. That's right, and Nottingham Forest have just announced the signing of 18-year-old German, Polish, Portuguese, we don't know yet, wonder kid, Eric Emmanuel da Silva Moreira. Yeah. But let's get the boring stuff out the way first. If you are new here, my name is Antonio Mango, and I am a scout analyst on all the best up-and-coming wonder kids. If they join a new club, I'll report on them, or even if just in general, if they're generally exciting players, I will do a scout analysis. So if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And at the end of the video, if you do enjoy it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Road to 1,000, here we come. So firstly, let's profile Eric da Silva. So who is Eric da Silva? Well, he was born on the 3rd of May 2006, which makes him 18. He was born in Hamburg, Germany, but he's also of Polish and Portugal descent. So he's able to represent all three nations at senior level. He began his career at SV Victoria Hamburg before moving to St. Pauli. He actually had the choice out of St. Pauli or Hamburg, but he is a St. Pauli fan, therefore he went to St. Pauli. Made his senior debut in October 2023, and he's actually the nephew of former footballer Almani Moreira and also the cousin of current Chelsea player Diego Moreira. He was one of the standouts for Germany under 17 at 2 tournaments where he helped them win the 2023 European Championship, which was followed by the World Cup. Eric da Silva is an extremely intriguing but versatile player who is naturally adept in several positions. He's capable of aiding his team in the defensive third as well as offensively as well. He actually developed and began as an attacker until the age of roughly 16, and then he started learning to become more defensive minded, which enabled him to affect his team in both areas of the pitch. Just to give you some insight of his versatility, at St. Pauli, he's played as a centre forward 17 times, scoring 10 goals and providing 6 assists. He's played as a right winger 12 times, scoring 4 goals, providing 2 assists. He's played as a left winger 7 times, scoring once, providing 1 assist. However, for Germany under 16s, 17s and 18s, and where he made his name at those 2 tournaments for the under 17s, he played at right back. So what are his strengths? Well, he's athletic, he's agile, he's got good acceleration and speed over distances. He's technically gifted, he's strong, and he's energetic. Trademarks of a consistent performer, in my opinion. Now, I know a lot of people will be thinking about the positions that he's played and thought he hasn't really nailed down a consistent position, but I'm actually going to flip and look at the positive side of that because he's learned a lot of different roles. Therefore, when he plays right back, he understands the instincts of a centre forward. When he's playing right wing, he understands the instincts of his centre forward. When he's playing centre forward, he understands the instincts of a defender. But in my personal humble opinion, I think Nottingham Forest will nurture him as either a right back or right wing back. But depending on where he plays, his attributes almost remain the same. He's blessed with incredible pace and technical abilities for an 18-year-old, and that's why he's been used in multiple different positions. When he's playing right back, especially we're seeing for Germany under 17s, his offensive approach and direct running from deep made it hard for opponents to track, especially when they were occupying other players. Eric da Silva is definitely a modern-day fullback winger hybrid. When his team's in possession, he has the speed and athleticism to support attacks, but he also now has crafted the defensive side of the game extremely well, and that's through playing through his national team. Let's look at the defensive side of the game first. So when he's playing defensively, you'll very, very rarely see him out of position. His in-game intelligence is outstanding. His understanding of the roles are exemplary. I put this down to him understanding every area of the pitch because of the positions he's played in. Eric De Silva is disciplined brilliantly, and he utilizes his electric pace brilliantly to recover loose balls. Finished second with most clearances out of any other right back at the under-17s World Cup with 3 clearances per game. That was third out of any German. His athleticism enables him to match most opponents in one-on-one situation. He has above average change of speed, a wonderful balance, and he does extremely well to keep his body ahead of the attacker to then use his strength to merge him off the ball. He's incredibly smart in using his body to shield the ball away from the attacker and move away from the ball himself in defensive situations. Eric De Silva is an active defender and prefers to close down the space, jockey his man, and engage rather than staying off and closing the lines. His preference is to stay on his feet, and he will commit to sliding challenges when he feels like the game or the attacker is slipping away from him. He finished with most tackles per 90 at the Under-17s World Cup with an extraordinary 5.5 per game. Eric De Silva is a tackling monster. He understands the rhythm of the game, and more importantly, the rhythm of his opponents. He's able to anticipate when to engage. He's an extraordinary tackler when he's got time to assess his opponent. He understands what his opponent's going to do. He's a fierce tackler, he's aggressive, he's determined, and he's exceedingly strong in duels as well. And that helps him retain possession. And that's what I like about him. When he's tackling, he's able to come away with the ball. He's like the best in the business at doing so. This would ultimately allow and enable Forest to move through offensive transitions quicker and more smoothly. Much to love about his defensive work. He's positionally great. He's disciplined. He takes instructions on board superbly well. He's aggressive in his tackles and he uses his body well to shield the ball. There's a lot of love about his defensive abilities, and that's why we've seen him not be a right back as such, but when he goes to the national team, he keeps all other right backs out of the starting 11. That just shows how good he is defensively. So what's Eric De Silva like offensively? Well, he's a superb technician. He's tall, standing at 6'1". He uses his pace to great effect, cruising past opponents and defenders and using his balance in one-on-one duels brilliantly. Not only is he quick, he's extremely controlled when he's dribbling at speed. He knows when to slow down, when to speed up play, depending on the situation. This makes him incredibly unpredictable and gives these challengers all sorts of problems. Brilliantly composed and settled in possession, his footwork needs to improve in tight areas, but he is good under pressure, especially when there's space afforded to him. His first touch, he moves into space and it allows him to build momentum. Not only does he use his pace to get past opponents, but he's also got creativity in his first touch on when to move and how to move. And it opens spaces where he can complete his take-ons. It's much like a more traditional winger. What's brilliant about him owning that right winger role is he understands it very well. He understands when to underlap, when to overlap, when to create overloads inside, or when to build out width, either sliding inside for passing lanes in the insides or holding width to stretch the play. He understands how the game's unfolding in front of him. Thanks to his technically gifted ability, his ability to hit low crosses is superb. His ability to hit the byline and cross the ball in is superb. His delivery is getting better and better, and that's extremely positive for Forest moving forward. He's also brilliant at playing through the lines with a brilliant long ball as well. He does attempt a lot of long balls, but they're more from deep. When he's in the opposition half, it's more shorter passes until he can open up space, and then he'll not hesitate to whip a ball in for his attackers to attack. His ball carrying is brilliant. He's extremely elusive. Therefore, it's difficult for opponents to keep up with him. When space is opened up, he makes no hesitation running it with determination, power, and speed. Eric De Silva is more of a dynamic ball carrier than he is an excellent dribbler. And what I mean by the difference between the two is an excellent dribbler, weaving in and out of players, like a Messi, you'll not get that. When space is opened up, you'll use power, speed, determination to move into that space before either whipping a crossing or linking up passages of play with teammates around them. But just like any young footballer, there does come weaknesses. So I've got a few weaknesses that could be strengthened. There's a couple areas where his ability to manage his enthusiasm. So what I mean by that is at times his passing can be too forceful. He looks for the harder option and resulting in the passing being overhit or just not on the same wavelength as his right winger or his striker, depending on where he's playing. Also, tackling dribblers in moments of chaos. If a dribbler is running at him with full speed and he doesn't have time to assess his situation and take control, he can be quite flat-footed and unable to adjust his feet in time. So that would need improving. And then finally, his aerial ability. Standing at 6'1" and he's athletic, you would think he would be good in the air, but his positioning and timing of his leap let him down. So how would he fit into Nuno's tactics from a fullback point of view? Well, Nuno wants his fullbacks to create width, be high and wide, and create more space centrally. And with Eric de Silva's enthusiasm and ability to find space and ability to hog the touchline and ability to get on the ball and beat a man or cross first time, that gives Nuno multiple options in the attacking zone. And if he did play as a right winger, he has that craftiness to invert inside, to come inside, use his left foot, build patterns of play. He has that game about him. So I've got no doubt that this signing was a signing with Nuno's playing style in mind. And that's one of the best things to hear from a fan's perspective. So I have looked at some statistics to back up what I'm saying. And then I'm going to compare him to Jan Titi, who won right back of the tournament at the Under-17s World Cup. A mistake in my opinion, but we'll let that one slide. And then I'm also going to compare him to Nottingham Forest Nico Williams, which will be interesting. So a couple of stats at the World Cup. He finished with the third most successful dribbles out of any defender with 1.7 per 90. Key passes, he was 1.3 per 90, which is the second most of any player in the German squad. Interceptions, he finished with 1.2 per 90, which is the third most of any player in the German squad. His total ground duels, he finished with the most in the German squad with 9.5 per 90, winning an unbelievable 62% of them. So how does he compare to Jan Titi? Well, he completed more long passes, completed more crosses, as well as more successful crosses. He completed more clearances and tackles, completed more successful dribbles. He completed more ground duels and more double duels. And he also committed less fouls, but won more fouls. Where let him down was dribblers tackled and aerial duels. But everything else, he was better than Titi at. That just shows how well-rounded of a footballer is Eric de Silva. So how's he compared to Nico Williams? Well, it's pretty identical to what I just showed you. He averaged more long balls. He averaged more crosses as well as more successful crosses. He averaged more clearances, tackles, and interceptions this time. He averaged more successful dribbles. He averaged more ground dribbles, duels, as well as more than double what Nico Williams did. So he's going to give you a lot more defensive security. He committed less fouls, so giving away less fouls in inappropriate areas, dangerous areas. And he also, again, the thing that did let him down was dribblers tackled and aerial duels. So there are two weaknesses that he does need to improve on just to become more well-rounded. But there's no doubt in my eyes that Nottingham Forest have landed on a gem here. The best compliment I can give Eric de Silva, and this is truly a compliment, he's a consistent performer. And everybody needs a consistent performer in their team. And that's exactly what you're going to get with Eric de Silva. His attitude, his work rate, his determination is all second to none. His ability to take on instructions is really impressive for a young footballer. He's extremely intelligent and has great in-game intelligence. So that is unfortunately the end of the video, guys. But as always, if you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I'm trying to reach that 1,000 mark, and everything you do to support is greatly appreciated. So until the next time, Mini Mangoes, take care.